And with the gene keys, it's a brilliant system. Richard Rudd came up with the system, and he's an incredibly beautiful storyteller. So each gene key, and it's just a mapping of who we are as personalities and energies and feelings and emotions based on the entire life, basically. But I mean, it's a huge system. It takes a long time to explain, but it's like in a very short nutshell. But every gene key is designed in 3 layers: in the shadow, the gift area, and the higher self area. The idea is that we have access to all 3 all the time. We do have the shadow part, right? We struggle with something. We have the darkness of the soul. We do have those little corners where we are, we don't really want to share with people for all kinds of reasons, right? All kinds of shameful reasons. And then we have this higher self person who has all the answers, always knows what's best for us. Is that intuition, this high intuition thing, right? I know what's best for me. I don't need you to tell me this. I might need your encouragement to help me to say that. But I don't need you to tell me what it is, right? Because I already know. I just don't trust myself. I don't trust myself enough to know that that's the answer. And that's where I'm going to. And that gift area is the journey that takes from the shadow, from the darkness to that higher self. It's the journey that I am creating for myself. I'm capable of turning from this to that. In every area of life, we all are capable of healing ourselves, of finding that recovery, of knowing what that journey is like for us. We all know that. We give in to the limiting mindset that that we are also equipped with. That is sort of like a stumbling block. It will always find the reason with what's wrong with that system. It will always find why this might not work. What is, don't do anything new. The mind will always tell you, don't go to the new. It's dangerous. We don't understand new. We very well understand what already happened. That is safe. That it's secure. We don't need anything else. Let's just stay in this, okay? Don't touch the newness because it's danger.
Well,
and it's running, and it's like a running script 24/7.
In short, what you're saying is that the blessing of the recovery is the blessing you give yourself, is that gift that you give yourself. And I think we shared this earlier in the pre-show that there are individuals who really, really stand in their own way, in a sense, and they're just blinded to this potential that they have, and they're blinded to, and they're stuck in this rut, and they're constantly in this, what we call, Baruch and I, we call it the captivity. They're captive to their mental prisons, in a sense, or what you were sharing earlier in that gene thing, is that gene key, is that they're in this, in this cave or in this darkness, that they're not seeing their potential. They're not seeing what it is that they're missing. And so, in a sense, what I'm hearing you share is that give that blessing to yourself, like break free of this, and the blessing will not just show up at your door and say, "Hi, I'm here." It's the blessing that you have to give yourself, in a sense. It's that unlocking and breaking free of that stuff. And Baruch, were you going to share something earlier about?
There's something else that I noticed that I want to highlight is, one of the things that you mentioned about it is that the way it came out in my mind was oftentimes we get so focused on, let's say, what's wrong or our recovery or whatever it is. We're so internally focused on everything going on. We need to focus on it for as much time as we need to, but then we need to release it. And what came to my mind is that it's only once we're able to free up that space inside of us, mentally, emotionally, wherever it may be, then we're able to welcome in the new life, the new possibility. And I just had this visual in my mind as you were explaining that It's literally it's like emptying out what's inside and welcoming in, you know, what else is possible. You know, when I was dating, I used to have the saying, actually, unfortunately, I didn't have the saying because it was only at the end. But at the end, I realized I needed to coin a saying, which was, "Let go and let God, give up and give in." And I was trying so hard to control my dating life, and it wasn't progressing the way I wanted it to because I was trying to control my dating life instead of letting God, you know, show me what He had in store. And once I was able to, again, let go and let God, or give up and give in, and I made that space for Him, then everything just lined up. You know, I met my wife and so on and so forth. You know, the rest is history. So that was one of those things that you said that really just stuck out to me, was like, oh, we need to make that space within us, empty ourselves of all that which we had gone through. And again, and I love that you mentioned, like, we have to process that. You have to sit in it, and you have to be there for as long as possible, because a lot of people, and honestly, I'm guilty of this myself, and not just for myself, but for other people. I've tried, so, you know, with certain people to push them to recover faster, when in reality, no, we need to sit in it, and sit in it for as long as you need to, so that then you can release it and then move on. So I just, you know, thank you for that reminder.
I just wanted to highlight exactly what we were just sharing now. You know, the reason why, you know, that coining of that, you know, that coining of that term, or that realization came at the end, was not that it came at the end, like you went through. This was your process that you went through. And then the moment you realize, like, wow, I need to invite the blessing in, that caused the end of your struggle of finding the right wife and finding the right, and that's what invited that blessing in, to have, you know, your incredible wife that you have. And it's that blessing that you really, really have, is came because you allowed it to happen.